Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Hola, how are you? I'm well, thank you. How are you? Happy Friday, Kat. Yes. Hi, Sarah. Isn't it nice that it's the weekend? Oh my goodness. This week, it was slow yet fast, mixture of things. Yeah, TGIF. 100%, Sharon. 100%. Oh, thanks, Meg. I appreciate it. How are you doing? I hope everybody's having a good day, celebrating that it's Friday. We're going to check some energies. I don't have a ton of time to stay live, but I definitely would love to see what's in the energy right now. Ibrahim, thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, Tito. So I'm curious to know how you're feeling. We talked the other day when I was live with Miro about how it was very much an all or nothing kind of vibe. Hi, Harps. How are you? Hi, Shell. And I'm curious to know if you're feeling that still, where there's like decision making, going into new energy, taking some risks. I said, how are you? I can't believe we're only maybe, I don't know, 6 weeks till Christmas. My goodness. 5 weeks till I'm off school. Time is flying. Like, I can't believe it. Oh, I got kitty cats joining me here now. Hi, Taro. Hi, baby boy. Do you want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi again? You want to say hi? Oh, my little boy. My little boy. This is becoming a thing. I like that. Hi, Trish. How are you? Cycle's ending? Yeah, for sure. You're in your energy of being you. Good. Taro. Oh. I love when his little paw sticks out. He is purring. Just in case anybody's wondering. He does look like he's a little bit scared, but he's purring. He's okay. You're getting on top of everything. It's taken a while. Well, good. You're feeling better and better every day. Right? He is a cute boy. Thank you. My Jimmy sent him. He's Jimmy's boy. He's getting sweeter and sweeter every day. Hi, Carlos. How are you? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's funny that he's actually just sitting here. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to jump. We need him to get more used to being on camera. He's been slow to join us, but the last few times, okay, go. Now he's, now he had enough. Okay, everybody said hi to you. All right, any other pets? I have 2 cats. I almost said I have 3. I don't, unfortunately. 2 of them passed away this year. Hi, Brian. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I have 2 cats. So tell me, everybody, what's your word of the day? How are you feeling? Let's do a little bit of a reading and see what's coming through. I still have to film the weekly twin flame relationship reading. I'm very curious to see what's going to come through that. You're good. I'm glad to hear that. You feel at ease? That's good. You feel content? I'm happy to hear that. You feel unsure? My day's been good, thank you. How are you, Mason? You're struggling with regrets? What are you regretting? Because you can't change the past, right? You can visit the past, but you can't live there. Hola. How are you, Laura? Nice to see you. You have a cat and a dog? Nice. You feel peaceful? I'm so glad to hear that, Cat. Good. Good, good. I have a little bit of a headache today, just a smidge, just a little bit of a headache. But I think it's because it's been a long day, not because of anything else necessarily. Like there's no bad. Today was a pretty easy day. So I'm well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, that's okay. It'll be better. I'm going to eat something. As soon as I'm off here, I'm going to eat something, film that reading for YouTube, and then I'm going to relax. Tomorrow, don't start any rumors. I know all of you. I know all of you. You love to start the rumors. So tomorrow, I have to get the dryer vent unclogged tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. The thing about my dryer vent is that it's on the roof of my house, but it's very hard to find somebody who's going to go onto the roof of this house because it's very, very tall. And I found somebody who worked on a neighbor's property and they didn't have to go through the roof. So tomorrow at 9 a.m., somebody's going to come and clear my vent. I won't say my pipe, but my vent. Hi, Tamara. How are you? So I have to be up early so that they can come in at 9 a.m. Oh, no, nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm just, my dryer vent needs cleaning, you know? So, you know, when the sensor goes off on the dryer, that's what's been happening. And so I finally found somebody that could come and clean it. So that's tomorrow morning. And then I've got filming to do. And then I'm going to go out shopping and yeah, and relax for the rest of the day. So you're thinking about academic decisions. Nah, you know what? You can't harp on that. You know what? Sometimes we look back at decisions we made and we say, why did I do that? But you know what? It had to happen that way. So Tala, don't beat yourself up about it. So let's see, what is the current energy today? Oh, volleyball was good. We actually won. Our first game of probably like the whole season, I think that we've actually won. But we are playing better. We are getting better. You know? Yeah, I went through a phase where I wasn't playing well, and I hate to say this. How do I say this nicely and diplomatically? Because I do like everybody on my team. There was somebody on my team that I feel like they were always pressuring me, like always pressuring me. And because they were pressuring, I felt that pressure. It would always mess me up when I went to go serve the ball. Or, you know, they would kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Lovely person. However, I felt the pressure. And so in the last little while, they haven't always been consistent with playing, as in like coming to the games. And so when they haven't been there, I've played so much better now because I don't feel the pressure or almost like invading my space. And so that has been nice. And I feel bad saying that. Oh, kitty tail in the background. I feel bad saying that because, like I said, they're a very nice person. It's just, you know, it's when somebody is like pressuring you, and then and then here's the other thing, and then when you hit the net, right? Let's say you're serving and you hit the net and you do it a few times, then they were like, practice, Kelly, practice, here, do it, here, do it now in front of, and it's like, I don't want to practice serving in front of all these people. No, I don't want to do this right now. And they wouldn't take no for an answer. And so it was just like, this mental pressure was just too much for me. And it really started to annoy me. And so it affected how I would play. And so lately, I've just gotten out of that mindset, and now I have no trouble like serving the ball. I never had trouble in the first place serving the ball. It's when I started getting pressured, and then I started having the issue, you know? I am short, but it's not an overhand serve, but still a little too competitive. And I think they meant well, Kat. It's not like they didn't mean well, but like, I don't like that feeling when like, here, go, try, do it in front of like all these people. And it's like, no, I don't want to. Like, I'm telling you no. Like, no means no. No, I'm not going to stand here and practice serving the ball in the middle of this this game or just after this game. Like there's too many people. Yeah, you feel me. You know what I'm saying, Lisette? Like, so it's kind of one of those things. Oh, interesting, Harps. Talking about pressure. You've had some pressure on you from family members. Yeah, and it makes you wanna step away. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you would turn red. Yeah, it was very embarrassing. Like it almost felt like too much. And again, I know they meant well. I'm not trying to speak poorly of this person because like I said, they're a nice person. It's just I kind of didn't want to be put on the spot like in that moment, you know? So I mean, listen, I'm in a rec league. We're not here to be at the Olympics, right? We're definitely not in the Olympics here. And anybody who wants to play competitive, there are other leagues that they can play in, right? Yes, I'm Canadian. Yeah, I'm Canadian. But yeah, Harps, I totally get it. You want your family to respect your boundaries, for sure, for sure. Anyways, side note, yes, we won our volleyball game this week, but anyways. Okay, current energy. You can relate? Yeah, I get it. I get it. Current energy today, Ten of Swords. How many of you are feeling like a cycle is ending? This is also possibly having so many swords in your back that you're just like, I'm done. I'm done. Can't do this. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Becca. Becca, it was so nice seeing you live earlier. Amazing. So... So if you feel like you've had enough, hi Anna, how are you? Now's the time to end some cycles. Now, interesting that I said now is the time because right when I said that, this card is the White Rabbit, which means it's time. Like it's time. It's time to let something go. And it could be about a relationship or it could even be that it's time to move on and start something new in regards to love. It really depends on your scenario, right? So... Am I available for a one-on-one? I could be, like next week, if you want to do one next week. If you go to the link in my bio on TikTok, you'll see a link to my website, kellylorraine111.com. Oh, good for you, Trish. Good for you. So let's see. Potential or challenge. It was impromptu, but Becca, sometimes the impromptu lives are the best. You know, that sounds amazing. You're welcome. Well, I got your message and I was like, yeah. No, I'll stop in. I had the moment to do it. I was really busy today, but at that specific time, I was able to. The ending of a cycle is hard, especially when you love someone. I know, Sita, I know. The only problem is that love isn't always enough, right? It just isn't. Hi, my friend. How are you? Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, my DMs are closed. That's probably why I haven't seen it. But if you send me an email or you go to my website, we can set something up. So let's take a look at the potential or the challenge. Thank you. How to regain trust with somebody. So Jess, is it in the sense that somebody was unfaithful, there was a betrayal? It really depends on what you're referring to. But I mean, trust, yeah, trust is built, right, over time. It's not something that's automatically given, right? Hi, Kristen. Yes, how are you doing? So the potential or the challenge is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is leaving your comfort zone. Okay, perfect. Oh, I'm so glad, Becca. I'm so glad. It's time to leave the comfort zone a little bit. Do something different. So, I mean, I've been through that. So Trish just said unfaithful. I went through that when I was married, and I tried very hard to fix things or to make things better. The only way I think for two people, you think, yeah, Hank, you believe that once betrayed, once will do it, and they'll do it again? Well, I'll put it to you this way. I think in order to make something better, two people have to be on the same page. If two people are not on the same page and they're not willing to work on it together, it's not going to work. I've seen it way too many times. Hi, Ronald. Oh, you're watching at work? Oh, thank you. Oh, you're very kind. Thank you. So, I mean, I tried this is going back a long time now, right? Like when I was married, but like we tried going to couples counseling or therapy. And the only reason I believe it doesn't work is because two people have to be on the same page. If one person out of the two is not being honest or not willing to try, it just doesn't work. You know? Thanks, Hank. Peace and love to you too. So that's when I realized that it wasn't working. And you can forgive. I think there are times when you can forgive, for sure. People make mistakes. But when something is repeatedly done, or there's no effort to take accountability or responsibility or to be honest, sorry, the kitty cats are moving the table here, then there's no point. So if people aren't on the same page, then yeah. Divorce cleaned your lenses. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm thankful actually for it all happening the way that it did. I don't wish those type of things to happen to anybody, but I will say that it was the best thing that ever happened to me. You believe if two people want to make it work, it'll work. They both have to want it. Yeah, it can't just be one. You're right, Bina. It cannot just be one person. And I think we've all been there where we've tried to fix the other person, or we've carried the weight of another person, and where I learned this, and I've talked about this story many times, and it's such a weird story. Do you remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was going through the revelation about, his son with the housekeeper? And he had gone on an interview somewhere, and he said that going through couples counseling with Maria Shriver was like the worst thing he ever did. And I remember at the time like scoffing at that. Like I remember being like, pfft, pfft. Like, how could that be true? Like I have to admit, I judged that statement. And then I went to couples counseling and I agreed 100%. I agreed 100%. It was the worst thing for me too. I mean, maybe it was good in the sense that it brought me clarity, or it made me realize what I was doing by trying to fix things or trying to overgive to it. But like, I recognized when I was sitting there, I think this is the same story. How many of you, I'm just curious, how many of you have ever been to couples counseling or couples therapy? I'm just curious. Okay, so some of you have been through it. Hi, Sarah. I'm well, thank you. How are you? So, okay, you've been through it. Okay, so here's how I would describe it. Okay, you too, Tito? Okay, Sarah, you have too. Here's how I would describe how it went. We sit in the chairs. We're talking to the counselor. The counselor advises us to buy this book. Okay, like I feel bad saying this, but like, I don't know why I'm laughing. He advises us to buy this book, to read this book, to come back and talk about it, kind of like a little book club idea here, right? We are asked questions, and then we start talking about the questions, and like some things get revealed, okay? Where like, oh, there's a little bit of truth that starts coming out. And then the session ends, and you get into the car, and what's the first thing that happens when you get into the car? Right? One person turns to the other and says something along the lines of, well, what did you mean when you when you did this? Hi, Katie Louise. What did you mean when you lied about that? Okay. And then what happens is one person out of the two feels like they're jumped on the moment they get into the car or the moment that they leave the office. Right? And so that's what would happen. We'd get into the car, and I would say, okay, so I have some clarity now about this, but like, what did you mean by, or what was this? And then you relive it all over again, Anna. Exactly. So if you've ever been in that scenario where like, you get a little tidbit of information, but then the person doesn't want to take the accountability or doesn't want to expand further or just doesn't want to be honest, there's really like nothing you can do, right? There's like nothing you can do. And I find, and please, no offense to any men in the room here, I say it with love, I really do. I'm not trying to pick at anybody, but this is from experience personally. I think that traditionally, when a woman is done, she's done. She's done. When the foot is out the door, that's when, for some reason, the husband will try or the man will try. And I think it's just a way of like wiring, of thinking of how to process these things. I think women, they grieve the relationship before the relationship is over. Because when I reached the point of being done, I was so done. There was nothing that could ever convince me. Like, that's why I've always said, since you've met me on social media, I have always said no man ever has to worry about my ex-husband. I can assure you that. And I think he's a wonderful person. I really do. I really do. I'm happy for him. He's remarried. It's all good. There's no bad blood. We're on good terms. But like, there's nothing that could convince me ever. It's like 0 to 0 to 0 infinity of anything. And that is because when a woman is done, she's done. Yeah, when you harps, you agree. When you were done, you were done. Alyssa just said, when I was married, our counselor looked at us. In his 40 years, he didn't know how to help us. We didn't fit. And can I give you a piece of advice, unsolicited advice? This is the question that I ask people very, very often. Oh, thank you so much. And I know it's a very morbid question. I know. But you know what I ask people? I've probably asked some of you this question in a session. Is this the person you see laying next to you in the cemetery? Like, do you picture the headstone of you and this person in the cemetery for all of eternity? And I know that sometimes that can be a very deep question, as in like, so like if you don't want to be married to someone and you know that things aren't going well, or you're going through this couples counseling, this is the question that I ask. So like Harps is like, nope, absolutely no way, right? And Trish, it is a good question, because I had that thought. I've had that thought ever since, because I said to myself, do I want to ride out my years like this? I mean, we would have been okay. I don't think it would have been horrible. I think we would have been fine. We were always good friends, so it's not like it would have been like the absolute worst. I mean, it could be worse. But I I knew that if I didn't make a move, I was not going to be happy. The thing is, Latemra, is that sometimes it can't be forever. In that, you know, I would think we all marry with the intention that it will be forever, but there comes a point sometimes where it just can't be. And I tried everything I possibly could. I didn't give up easily, but I can tell you that I really had this thought of, could I picture myself, in the cemetery right next to each other? And I just could not. I just could not. So I don't know, you never thought about it that way, Anna? Yeah. Yeah. If you don't get along in the physical, they'd probably fight during the afterlife too. You never, you never know. You never know. But I just, yeah, that's how I thought about it. So Maria says no. Maria says no. How do I define value? In what sense? In what context? Hi, Josh. How are you? Hi, Moses. Anyways, I just say, like, if you're picking somebody forever, we gotta try to pick wisely. That is for sure. You never fought. And you know what, Alyssa? I had, and to be honest, I had a very good marriage. I mean, it almost sounds crazy. I really did. I had a very good marriage for a very long time, a very good relationship. Like, people are shocked that we're not married anymore. But, it can turn very, very quickly, and it did. It was not fixable. We tried, I tried, but it was not fixable, So could be. But same with you, Trish. Yeah, and like I said, I have no bad blood. I don't wish him any bad. Yeah, he did some terrible things, but he's not a terrible person. It's just not my person, and I wish him well. Yeah, you have a similar outlook. Is this the last person I want to see? And yeah, I just couldn't go there, Hi, Dora. How are you, my friend? So 2 of Wands is leaving the comfort zone, and we got to stop crying over spilled milk. This is like a 5 of Cups kind of energy of like disappointment. We have to let go of the disappointment. We have to let ourselves grieve, get out of the grief, and move ourselves on. Oh, buonasera. Buonasera. Sardinia. How are you, Alfredo? Come stai? Oh, that was a long time ago though, Josh. I was married a long time ago at this point. Thank you, Melody. So, yeah, and you know what, Trish? Things happen. Things happen. I don't think that there's any. I know that's an interesting answer when I say that, but uh, things happen in relationships, and sometimes they're meant to happen in order to make some change. Hi, Esmea. How are you? You waited until both kids graduated. I see that both ways, and I'm not criticizing your decision to do that, but I will tell you this as perfect, locking in. Thank you. That's wonderful. um, but I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, about the waiting till kids graduate. As a teacher myself, I see it a little bit differently because kids know when parents are not in the same energy or not in sync or they're fighting. They're not immune to that. And so we also have to remember that as parents, we show our children what relationships are like. And if there's fighting, if there's negativity, if there's back and forth, they know. They know. It's all good. It's all good. It's not a secret, but it is something that like I keep a professional line locking in, right? But yeah, there's definitely a there's definitely a professional line. So thank you. Hi, Lucia. I'm well, thank you. How are you? So it's hard to move on, Pickle Pants. I totally understand why you might do that. It's just keep in mind that it does model to our kids what relationships are, and sometimes it's better to make the move than to live in the energy that can affect them going forward, you know? So no judgment either way. But I've had students tell me a lot. You'd be surprised what kids will tell, but will tell at school. Hi, Roseanne. How are you? You know. So. Can be. It can be that way. So, I just am very mindful. When I'm talking to people in these situations, that of course every situation is different, but we have to look at always the bigger picture. So, yeah, we have to live our truth, Harps. You're exactly right. Kitty cats are doing well. Kitty cats are doing well. Okay, what should we focus on today? Hi, Gina. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, I understand that. But you know what? I would just say this, that all parents do the best they can, right? All parents do the best they can. What we should focus on today is moving forward, the chariot, right? Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Gina. Is moving forward, right? Why do we pursue relationships? Why can't we just be as we are by ourselves? Because people crave connection. People crave connection. That's human. That's human. You know? So, no, that's okay. I understand your autocry. I knew what you meant. I don't think that's always the case, Pickle Pants, but I understand like the fear of that, right? I mean, my dad, I'll put it to you this way. My dad lost his father when he was 5 years old. My grandfather lost his life in World War II, 6 months into the war, and my father was 5 years old and was, separated from his family for a year in an orphanage and was sick and all these other things. And my dad had a very rough childhood, but I will tell you that he made it his mission to be a good father. And so I find it can go one of two ways. One can live in victim mode, or they can become better than what they had. And I will tell you that my father, I was very blessed with my father. He may not have been the most emotional or the most expressive, but I can tell you that he loved his children. And he was not out partying, doing things he shouldn't be doing. He was always very reliable. And he did that because he didn't have, growing up. So it's a tough one, People have choices in life. And so, and you absolutely, Pickle Pants, I totally get it. But that doesn't mean people have to stay together in relationships just for the sake of children, because children know when something is not jiving, right? They know that they know that energy. Kids are very, very perceptive. And so with that, we have the bird cage. So somebody has to free themselves, free themselves from the cage, whatever's holding them back. Thanks, Harps. We all make mistakes, but we do our very best, absolutely, of course. Yes, I did get my new furnace in. Yep, everything is working well. Everything is working well. Hi, Natalie. How are you? Okay, the recent past. Oh, the lovers. How many of you are feeling the lovey vibes? Yeah, I mean, hopefully, freshmen, we grow up, we change, right? We develop. I was telling my students the other day about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We hope that eventually we get the message and we keep making moves and step by step and day by day. And that's a lifelong lesson. Like we're going to be healing until the day we're not on this earth, right? It's just like that. We're never fully healed. We're never fully finished something. So it's a constant effort. And maybe this is just a gentle reminder for some people that they need to hear. And that is, you're going to take steps. I always say, think of a staircase. Every time you take a step, you have to release an old step. And what I find most people do is that they take a step, they go out of their comfort zone, and then they celebrate. But they celebrate almost a little bit too long. They linger a little bit too long because they feel like, wow, I just made a step. Why do I have to keep making more steps? But the problem is that when you freeze and you don't make any more steps because you're celebrating too long, the universe starts to frustrate you and poke at you, and you start feeling like, well, why do I feel bad? I just made a move, I just did this. And I don't mean there's a timeline on this, but you can start to feel the pressure. And so if you're relishing too long in a situation and you notice that things are poking at you and it's not going well, it's because you need to make another step. And it means you need to release another part of your story, I guess you could say. So how can you connect with someone if you can't connect to yourself? So what I'm going to say sounds different than what you might hear, because I hear so much content about people saying, well, I'm going to stay single and I'm going to put a wall up and I'm never going to date again. I'm happily single, whatever people want to say. But the only way for people to get better, to connect with themselves, is to be triggered by other people. You can read all the self-help books, you can watch all the videos, unless you're allowing yourself to be triggered by other people, you're not going to have change, because experience is your greatest teacher. So I will never tell you that you have to be in a relationship with somebody. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to spark new energy and to find a way to learn, I hear you, Kristen. The chariot life is going so fast. Yeah, you've got a lot going on. Absolutely. Becca's reminding me of what I always say. We can't have the Two of Cups without the Ace of Cups. You have to fill your own cup in order to have two cups with somebody, right? And so, sometimes we project or we put a wall up that says, yeah, no, I'm going to stay single. I'm not going to date anybody. I can't let anybody in. Hi, Nick. But then the truth of the matter is people are craving connection. And I hate to say this because this might be triggering, so please excuse me. I say it with a good heart. If somebody's saying, well, I'm going to stay single and I don't want to be with anybody, then why watch tarot readings, or why watch love readings, or why engage in things that are about love, right? Because we crave connection. And that's the truth. So we would be projecting and saying we don't want something, but in reality, deep down, we know that we do, right? And there's nothing wrong with wanting it. I think that we have to be honest with ourselves and look at where we're at and figure out the steps to move forward, right? So, wow, Roseanne, your mom lost her parents at age 5 as well, went to an orphanage and separated from her. That was my father as well. Yeah. His mother, he saw her a year later, and of course they were back together, but it was very tough for him for the year. Well, nobody should ever try to make someone else happy. You have to make yourself happy. Yeah, it's okay to be alone and learn, but the thing is that being alone doesn't allow the triggering, right? We need to be we need to be triggered, you know? Of course you can fill your cup by by 80. There's no age in this. You know, people have to look out for themselves and spark new energy and do things that make them feel fulfilled. Nobody's ever going to do it for you. Not one person is going to drop from the sky and suddenly you're going to feel loved. It comes from self, right? And it takes time. Hi, Jane. How are you? I mean, it has taken me, I always talk about this, it has taken me almost 10 years to really feel that way. I'm the happiest I've ever been. And why do you think that is? I mean, I went through hell and back. For those of you that don't know, I've been, I know what it feels like. I have been through some of the worst possible scenarios. I've been through infidelity. I've been through grief. I've lost people close to me. I've left my career. I've started new career. I've moved a bunch of times. I've dated many people. I've been through it. Hi, Mish. How are you, my friend? And so all I can tell you is that if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Thank you, Bubblegum Girlie. I appreciate it. And I just never stopped putting myself out there, and I never will stop putting myself out there. So all I can say is don't wait. Don't wait. You can still achieve the things that you want without waiting, right? Oh, I'm so glad, Mish. Mish, I'm sorry I didn't message you earlier. I knew you were going for your surgery. How did everything go? It's been a crazy busy week. I apologize. I knew you'd be okay. Oh, we have chemistry with lots of people. Of course we do. Alex, of course that's possible. Oui, j'ai gagné le match. Nous avons gagné le match. Ce n'est pas seulement moi. Like that I think of fondly, like currently or like in the past. I mean, like, listen, everybody plays a role in your journey, right? But people are part of your past for a reason, right? So what you're talking about is the grief. You have to work through that grief. You have to work through that grief. I've been talking a lot about grief, actually, in my sessions and even with my mother, because I think that everybody has a different way of dealing with grief, but sometimes we don't want to let go. You heard that? Mish, I'm seriously, I've been thinking that. I just know you're going to be okay. Hi, Marta. I'm sorry, Mish, that you're in pain. Yeah, you have to find the will within yourself, you know? Oh, I'm so sorry, Robin. That's tough. It's tough, for sure. Exactly, Roseanne. I mean, a lot of us have hindsight of our childhood. We look, and again, your parents did the best they could. Their parents did the best they could. It's called ancestral karma or debt. I mean, like we inherit these things, right? And we have to be the ones to break the cycle. I'm going to bet you that the majority of us that are in this room, if not all of us, hi Diana, are people who are breaking the cycle. We are the black sheep of the family. We are the weird one or the spiritual one or the different one, I guess you could say. And that's because we're here to do things differently, right, than what was done before. So it's hard. Yeah, harps is very hard. I mean, we try to be honest with our grief, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer really is, you know? Hi, Kenneth. How are you? So let's see. The lovers is the recent past and a wish granted. Maybe you've met somebody who's like a wish come true, right? So, hi, Kara. It was good. It was good. We did midterm report cards. So you're doing progress reports. We just did progress reports and midterm report cards. Yeah, on a gagné. Oui, oui, c'est la même chose. If you had to let go of everything, what would be the one only thing that you would do everything to protect keeping? I would protect myself in the sense of my self-worth. my boundaries. I will do anything to keep my boundaries. I refuse to overgive, overdo, and problem solve for everybody. I cannot be everything to everyone. So, yeah, everything happens for a reason, Robin. Everything happens for a reason. You're the black sheep with rainbow sparkles. You're beautiful, Cat. You know, we're sort of like all in this similar boat of ascension and spiritual reawakenings, as I call it, you know? Have to, Tamara, have to. I didn't in the past, and now I will not compromise. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to compromise who I am or what I want just because other people want me to. Yeah, high school calls us, but no, we have, yeah, you're doing great through, but we do progress reports too, but I think it's because you're not semestered, we're semestered, so that's why we're a little bit, I think, ahead with the reports. Yeah, Nick's use, I love, Nick, that you said that, because I always said that you were not, I'm not a power bank, like, you know, like the phone chargers, like, you know, where you drain somebody's battery, because let me repeat, Nick, thank you for reminding me of that analogy. I haven't used it in a while. Here's the problem. You're here and your person, whoever's draining you, is right here. And I'm not saying you're better than or less than. But what happens is this person comes in with like a 2% battery. You're sitting here at 98. And as they come into your energy, they drain you, okay? They pump up their energy, right? Their battery, drain yours, and then they go and they run and they go and deal with the shit that they got to deal with every day while leaving you with nothing. And so if you're the one allowing people to, you know, charge their energy off you, then you're not benefiting whatsoever, right? All you're doing is allowing people to steal your energy and your time, right? They leave us holding the bag. Oh my gosh, the holding the bag story of my life. You know, I'll tell you a funny story actually quickly. I went for a massage yesterday to a new massage therapist, and we were talking about, oh, thank you, Anna. We were talking about like physical pain, and he said to me that he's not very spiritual, and but he's open, but he's somewhat open-minded. And I was like, oh, that's funny. It's probably why you met me today, because I'm very spiritual. But we were talking about where pain is in the body, and he said something like, wow, like your right side is really tight. And I said, well, yeah, the right side is the masculine side of the body. And I said, I would bet you that the majority of your clients, your female clients, have problems on the right side of their body because that's the masculine side. So when you're in that masculine energy and you're holding the bag, so to speak, or you're left holding the bag, where do you feel the most pain? You feel the most pain because you're in that hyper-independent masculine energy. And, you know, the response was, huh, yeah. So when I'm talking to these clients, yes, they do have pain on their right side of their right shoulder or whatever. And I said, I would bet that if you were to go and look, you would probably see quite a few with the right side more than the left side, you know? And so when we get put into that energy of hyper independence, and you gotta be in self-preservation, your body aches and your body feels it, and the emotional stuff shows through physically, right? So it's fascinating for sure, you know. And we had some good conversations about spirituality and energy and pain, you know, because a lot of the stuff that comes through is now, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing. You go and talk to your doctor, but it's very fascinating to see where our pain shows up in our body. So let's see. The strength position right now is the Devil card: restrictions, addictions, codependency. It could be lust. It could be lust. You might be feeling some pip energy. I mean, in this online family, we always have pip energy. So Kat just said, funny, my right side is the one that is completely numb from the stroke. That's interesting. Yeah. Oh, Mish. But Mish, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. So that Devil energy and the Knight. We've got to push forward, full speed ahead. Be brave. Be brave to break free. We have to build the confidence. You know, strut your stuff. So let's see. Let's take a look at the near future, the Seven of Wands. Are you on the offensive or are you in the defensive? Are you ready to stand up? Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to make a move? What's the story? What's the story? You have a decision to make. Are you in the old or are you in the new? I feel like I say that every day of my life. Every day of my life. Are you in the old or are you in the new? This is an all or nothing time right now. Like if we want the good stuff, we got to make the moves. Yeah, the chakra is a big part of spirituality. Of course it is. Yeah, the chakra system. And yeah, I'm in the new. I agree. I'm in the, listen, I told you, I'm the happiest I've ever been. I wouldn't go back to yesterday. I wouldn't go back to last week. I wouldn't go back to a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. There's no way you could ever convince me. Not even remotely, you know? This is true, Pickle Pants. I agree with you. I agree with you. I just said this to somebody today. I think sometimes we forget what suffering is. I mean, like, back to what my dad used to say. My dad used to say, you know, Kelly, I'm a child of war. Like, he's like, do you know what that's like? You know, like we don't know sometimes. We think of first world problems, you know? Yeah, Mish, his name is Pickle Pants on YouTube. Oh, I wish we could hang out too, Roseanne. That's sweet of you. That's sweet of you. That was an epiphany for you, Kat? It blew your mind? Yeah, I mean, think of what you were going through in your life and where it affects you, right? Where you had that happen. If something didn't work, then that's a sign, Anna. Exactly. Yeah. So, hi, Trick. So let's see. Okay, suggested approach. Funny, look what's at the bottom of the deck. I happened to see it, Seven of Swords. Suggested approach is authenticity. You want me to be we haven't talked about me being a matchmaker in a long time. I would love to be a matchmaker. I would love to matchmake all of you, find your perfect person. I think I would have good judgment to do that. I need like a TV show. Hook me up, people. But not like a typical TV show. I want like I want real. I want authentic. I want authentic. You know, I don't want it to be like fake. I want it to be real. You know? I would love to match people based on like criteria that's like spiritual, you know. I always joke that I want to do like 90 Day Fiance pillow talk, but with like tarot cards. That would be my dream, you know. Oh, Trish, you're sweet. I think I'd be great at it too, Mish. Yeah. Oh, I would love to talk about it with you, Kat, for sure, for sure. Like the dating game. And no, you're not aging yourself. I know the dating game too. You know, but yeah. Absolutely, Mish, absolutely. Let's see, what is the suggested approach? Page of Pentacles, studying and learning, do new things to expand your knowledge, right? Why do you think I'm taking these courses that I'm taking right now? I'm taking one starting next week, AI for digital marketing and communication. And then I have 3 more social media courses that I'm taking in January and February. I just finished my first social media course just this week, and I'm very proud of myself. I was proud of my grade that I got. And I have to thank all of you because you were the inspiration of my assignments, because I told you I got a chance to talk about you guys. I got a 98%, not to boast, but I got a 98% in the course. I got to talk about the analytics of our engagement and the platform family that we've built. And I had a lot of fun talking about it. Thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun talking about it in my slideshows that I made, or my assignments. So I can't do that all without you. Well, you inspire me, Roseanne. You guys, listen, when I do sessions, thank you. When I do sessions with all of you, it inspires me. When we talk about these things on live, like you inspire me. Like I can't do this all by myself. Thank you, Laura. I can't do this all by myself. I learn from you, you learn from me. We do this together in just different capacities, right? Or different facets, I guess you could say. Thanks, Nick. Oh, that's nice, Lucia. So I'm taking courses to gain new knowledge and expand and see where it takes me, you know? So thank you. I appreciate it, Tamara. Thank you. So yeah, it's all because I get to talk to you, right? All of you. You really help me. And it's been cathartic. It's really helped me on my journey, right? So that's why I'm always telling you that if I can go through the lowest of low in my life and come out the other end happy and healthy and smiling, then I know you can too. That's why I want it to be an inspiration to you, because I can tell you, I know what it feels like to hit that low. I know what it feels like to be betrayed. I know what it feels like to go through the dark night of the soul, to meet people who are emotionally unavailable, to go through the twin flame journey, to understand reawakening, to go through Kundalini awakening. Like you name it, I've been through it. I've been through hell and back. And so, you know, I would just say you can do it. You can, absolutely. Oh, thanks, Roseanne. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lucia. You're a Pisces? Nice, Jim. How are things in Massachusetts? So let's see, Page of Pentacles, studying and learning, fireworks, celebration. There we go. I want you to celebrate. I want you to know how far you've come. I want you to be excited. I want you to have joy. I want you to know that you can have victory. All these things on the cards. Oh, Harps, thank you. That means a lot to me. That really means a lot to me. I mean, listen, I've been doing this. Oh, good, Shell. I'm so happy to hear that. I've been doing this now professionally since 2021, right? And it's coming up to 5 years in March. And it's incredible what's happened in these last 5 years. Like, it's just been an amazing ride, and things are changing and shifting. And I'm doing some new content right now. And I'm excited. I'm really excited for the future, So let's see what do we need to know? I don't know. I think it's Tamara has looked for me before. I feel like it's March. I always forget. It's like March 6th or 7th. March 6th or 7th. Oh, thanks, Mish. I really appreciate it. I'm grateful for you too. Yeah, the lessons, the stories, the laughs. The hard ass Kelly. Okay, March 6th, Tamara. Thank you. I knew it was March 6th or 7th. March 6th. There you go. So what do we need to know? The Ten of Wands, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally exhausted. This is about putting your burdens down. Put down the troubles. You don't need them anymore. Oh, look at that. Burn the book of the past, the old narrative, right? So, oh, your birthday's the 8th? Nice, nice. So we want to get rid of the old narrative. We have to shift. And here's something very honest about my journey. Another thing. And that is, those of you that have been with me a long time, you know that I have changed a lot. What I used to talk about when I first came on here is not even necessarily what I talk about now, right? I go through phases. There are going to be people that are going to be here with me. There are going to be people who go on their own journeys and that I don't see necessarily, and that's okay. I'm never offended by that, because I know that everybody has to do whatever they have to do in order to go their way or go their path. I'm a Virgo, freshman, I'm a Virgo. And so I feel like if I were to stay in the same energy, remember, that wouldn't lead others into their growth. I have to change, I have to grow. So when you see me change, it doesn't mean that I leave anybody behind. It is because if I don't grow and I don't change, how will you all change? Right? Thank you. I feel like there's always phases where I need to be more hard ass Kelly, or I need to be lighter, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. Like I said, I can't always do the same thing over and over again. And some people will stay with me and some people will not. And that is okay. You know? Thank you, Rosanna. I appreciate that. Oh, there's Taro with his big tail. Remember how Jimmy always had like the big tail? There's Taro has a very he's a very thick tail. Very thick tail. Hack is necessary. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the hope and or fear. What is the hope and or fear? Hi, Stefano. How are you? Hey, Tarot Kitty. What are you doing? He's getting closer and closer now. He comes on his own when we're on live, right? JT, Simon says hi. Your cousin Simon says hi. Your Bengal's tail is so thin. You know what's funny? When I saw Tarot the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, he reminds me of Jimmy. Jimmy had a tail. Some of you don't know Jimmy, but my Jimmy who passed away. Hi, Tarot. You gonna go snuggle with your girlfriend here? Yes, they are still in love. Tarot and Karma are absolutely in love with each other. But Jimmy had a tail that looked like his manhood was sitting on his back, if you catch my drift. And he was so proud. He was so proud of that tail, okay? And when I saw Tarot the very first time, he has the thickest tail you'll ever imagine. Hi, Lindsay, how are you? You remember Jimmy? That's so sweet. Jimmy passed away in May. He was 10 years old, and then Pandy passed away in September. You know, so yeah. So and when I saw Tarot, I was like, no, that's Jimmy's boy, like that Jimmy. And it's funny, I didn't initially go to adopt Tarot. It was another cat named Jerry. I saw Jerry and I thought Jerry was cute. Tarot is just over a year, I think, at this point. Like he's young. And I went to go look at Jerry, but unfortunately Jerry was not sociable, or like I couldn't even, unfortunately, he was not even open to meeting anybody. It was the telltale, yeah, sign that he was sent by Jimmy. But Tarot, and you know what's interesting? I initially, poor Tarot, hope he doesn't hear me say this, but I saw his brother, Ace, and his brother was absolutely stunning and affectionate and a little superstar. But he had been adopted the day before, so I couldn't adopt him. And then I saw Tarot, but Tarot was not very social, kind of social, but not. And there was another brother, Marty, and Marty was much even like more scared. And so I took a look at Tarot and I was able to pick him up, which the lady there said that he's never really wanted to be picked up, but he did let me. And so I said, okay, I'm going to give him a chance. And that's how I brought Tarot home. I gave him a chance because he not only did he look cute, I didn't like the fact that he was in this rescue and I didn't want to come home without a cat. And so I said, okay, I said, I'm going to give him a chance. And that's how yeah, he felt the energy. Maybe he just let me. And so then I brought him home and yeah, he does have a different face than Jimmy, but he certainly has a very similar, like a very similar vibe. Like the way he just falls on the floor. And I say to him, did you fall? Did you fall? Like he just dramatically falls onto the floor, just like Jimmy would. Or, you know, he has a little bit of a annoying meow at times. And I feel bad saying that, but like Jimmy had a bit of an annoying meow. And so I kind of feel like they have very similar ways about them. Yeah, I was chosen maybe. I guess so. But yeah. So I'm glad that you remember Jimmy. Jimmy was a very good boy. He was a very good boy. Now, interesting that this just popped over. Nick, you had said to me something about the Empress earlier, and I know that I talked about this with Miro as well the other day. The hope and or fear is, well, the hope is birthing a whole new cycle, right? This is all about being in feminine energy and allowing yourself to receive and being creative and doing what you're passionate about. We saved Simon from a certain shelter and couldn't let that happen. Yeah, exactly. I will say this though. The cat rescue that Taro came from, oh, thanks, Anna. The cat rescue is a no cage, and they do not end their life. They are there forever. If they don't get adopted, they stay there forever until, the end. And so that's something that I really admire because that's not easy. Their vet bills there are thousands and thousands of dollars a month, like at least $10,000 a month at times. And so, yeah, the adoption fee is high, but it's high because they take care of those cats. They're in a house. They don't have any cages. They're in different rooms. They play. So. Hi, Franklin. How are you? Hi, the Blue Nose Biker. Yeah, so free range kites, oui, oui. I don't know if Matt is still in the room, but I call them kite, although we all know that kite does not mean kitty. But I still say kite. Hi, Jennifer, how are you? Yeah, we're blessed for sure. So the Empress card is about birthing a whole new cycle. That's our hope. Sometimes that's our fear. We're afraid of something new because we don't know what the new entails, Oh, that's nice, Harps. I'm glad that you got an angel card. And with the Empress, we have, see, there's the inventor. Hi, Madeline. I don't like the inventor. I said this to Miro the other day. It's innovation for me because there's a really big difference between the two. I don't like the idea of inventing something because inventing something is like starting from scratch with nothing. I like innovation. I like being new and improved. I like adding something to the mix to make it better. That's what it's all about. We get better, right? So the probable outcome, let's see, probable outcome, 5 of Swords. Interesting. We've got to put down the swords. No more battles. If you've been fighting yourself, if you've been fighting other people, let's see what else. Let me just see. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm telling you, you've probably heard me repeat this a million times. You have to let go of the broken heart. You have to. No more battling the broken heart. No more living in that old. You can't. You cannot. You've got to be in the new. And here's the other thing. People can come back into your life. They can, but they have to come correct. Remember that. It's not an automatic. It's not that you sit and you wait because waiting makes you wait. If somebody comes back, they come correct and nothing that's meant for you will ever pass you by. Remember that. People have to do their part. You cannot heal for them. You cannot fix it. You cannot do what they need. 2 people have to be on the same page. If you're on the same page, you have a really great shot. And if you're not, then you got one life to live. Now listen, I believe in reincarnation. I believe in like past lives and whatever. But my point is that you are conscious of this life. And therefore you cannot just sit. You cannot just sit. Time is precious. You can make money, but you cannot make time. Okay? So, oh, there we go. Look at that. You cannot make this up. And I talked about this card with Miro the other day. The pearl is about opening up emotionally. It's important. You've got to be willing to open yourself up to someone, open your heart, see where it takes you. If you believe that you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt. If you're so worried of a broken heart again, you're just going to manifest that. You got to be very, very careful with what you think and feel and do. The pearl. I know where your mind went, Mish. I know where it went. But anyways, I got to run. My food is sitting at the door. It's probably been sitting there for a while, but that's okay. That's okay. It's worth it. I love you all. Yeah, the world is your oyster. Open up. It sure is. Thanks, Trish. Have a wonderful night as well. Okay. What's for dinner? My usual. I think what I normally eat is either steak and vegetables or like chicken and vegetables. Tonight, again, it's steak and vegetables. I had chicken yesterday. Tonight, it's steak. You know that I eat a lot of steak. Thanks, Anna. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Becca. Have a wonderful weekend as well. The universe is not stupid at all. Not at all. The universe just reflects, and I hate saying this in relation to stupid because there's no such thing as stupid, but like, the universe is just reflecting what we're putting out there. So we have to remember that. So we don't want to be in any negative thoughts. And I mean, I know not everything is rainbows and butterflies. We're going to have good and bad days, but we've got to be in our best energy as much as we can. You're welcome. Mish, take care. I hope you feel better soon. Thanks, Nick. Thank you, Alang. I appreciate it. It was nice seeing you too, Lindsay. I'm glad you're here. You know, it's funny. A lot of people are telling me that they're seeing me more on their FYP or in the algorithm. So that's lovely. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Thanks, Tito. I appreciate it. All right, my friends. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to go film after I eat dinner, of course. I'm going to go film the Twin Flame Soulmate Relationship reading for the week. And hi, Jackie. And then I will post that to YouTube tonight. And we will all talk soon. Okay? Okay? Okay. I love you guys. Take care, Instagram, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and we shall speak soon.